Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Twilight Tonight. My name is Bia, and this is a fan fiction episode. Bow chicka wow 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 wow. Wow wow. Can you guess what I'm gonna say? We're gonna get right into it, but then we're not gonna get right into it. So, right now I am drinking blueberry lavender drink from Kava. Pretty good, pretty good. Last episode was a tough read. We barely got through the chapter. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty proud at myself for getting through it in the end. But last episode, last chapter was rough. If you got through the whole chapter, then congratulations, you are a strong warrior. If you didn't, then welcome to this episode. This episode is chapter 8. As you can see here, we are reading Falling Beyond Redemption by Aaliyah Before You. Of course, this is a Twilight fan fiction. If you don't know that yet, then maybe you should go back to episode 1 so you can catch up to the whole story. But like I always say, we're gonna get right into it. Chapter 8, Collision. And we're starting with Edward's POV. I kind of played with the idea of having like a fun background, like this sort of. It kind of does like take away my hair. Um it makes me look bald. So that's why in the end I can't do this background because I feel like I look bald.
And for that reason alone, I'm out.
I mean, no hate to the baldies out there, okay? I just don't think that I could pull it off personally. Just don't think it's really for me. Anyway, oh my goodness. Here we go, chapter 8, Collision. Collision, so interesting, kind of makes me think of the car accident scene in Twilight. We are starting with an Edward POV, which we haven't seen since 2 chapters ago. So last we saw him, he was jumping out of a car with Emmett, running through the woods to go find Bella because he couldn't get a hold of her through her phone, which, like if my boyfriend can't get a hold of me, I hope that he also goes running through the woods to find me. I ran as though the devil himself pursued me. Emmett lacks my speed, but his strength usually grants him advantages over rougher terrain such as these. Yet he cannot keep pace with me today. He falls behind, and only the presence of his thoughts in my mind tells me I'm not alone. The wind hisses against my ears, and it's the only sound as creatures both great and small fall silent at our passing. My mind is on her, and only her. My phone remains quiet, proof that Alice has seen nothing that would alter my course. I stop at the edge of the woods, scanning the area quickly to make sure the way is clear. It only takes seconds, but each wasted moment of necessary observation enrages me. I can see her house, see her truck and Charlie's cruiser, but most of all I can see and smell the presence of Jacob Black. A dark and lethal rage begins to consume me, and it takes effort to push it back, to not allow it to dictate my movements. I have no idea what is going on here, no real comprehension of the dangers that may lay in wait for me, and until I do, I need to stay in control of my emotions. Blocking out every other sound, I search for the one I need to hear above all others, Bella's heartbeat. Effortless, I have centered my entire existence around that sound, and it obliterates all others. My relief at hearing it is short-lived. The rapid thrum is as clear to me as if she had spoken directly in my ear, communicating her anxiety and fear in each pulsing beat. The final distance between her and I is clear, but it wouldn't have mattered if it was or not. Nor does it matter that I am no longer the only creature moving through the night. Emmett is very close, and I leave the approaching wolves to him and to the other members of my family who are approaching just as rapidly. Ooh, okay, there's about to be some vampire drama. I don't know if we're gonna get it in this episode, but let's see. I mean, we're coming up to Charlie's POV. If you remember last time, he pulled a bazinga. He pulled a gun out on Jacob, so. He says, "There's no hesitation in my actions. I feel my sight on Jacob without wavering. The gun is solid in my hand as if this was any criminal and not the 17-year-old son of my best friend. Though I can only see Bella in my peripheral vision, her battered image is ingrained in my mind where it will no doubt stay for the rest of my life." "You're pointing a gun at me, Charlie?" Jacob's expression narrows, changing from shock to indignation to belligerence. "Get on your knees. Put your hands on your head. Now!" I feel detached, separated into two distinct beings. The cop spouts well-rehearsed words, keep his finger lightly against the trigger, and assesses the situation before him with practiced professionalism. The other side, the father, is horrified and tortured at what I know I've done. It is that other side that slows my reaction time when Jacob lunges and covers the distance between us with little effort. I feel his fingers close over the gun, and I instantly drop one hand and twist my torso, using all my force to jam my shoulder into Jacob's sternum in a move that would have easily disabled any other man. He barely flinches. With only a soft grunt of pain, he loosens his grip, though not enough now to allow me to regain control. The smell of alcohol radiates from Jacob's breath, but nothing about his movements show intoxication. I drop my shoulder again, but this time, he's ready for me, and he shoves me back, the power behind his move knocking me off balance. His fingers clench around mine as the momentum of his shove sends us both sprawling. And as he grabs the gun, it goes off with a roar. Oh my God. Jacob lands beside me, and my entire body braces for a crushing impact that never comes. Instead of feeling his weight slam me to the floor, I see his body suddenly jerk backwards and fly across the room as though he was launched from a cannon. Fly across the room as though he was launched from a cannon. Edward. I see him only for the briefest of moments. 1 second he's here and crouched low, a feral hiss resounding him as Jacob disappears. And then he's gone. There's the sound of a body meeting solid surface, the shattering of items cascading from a shelf, and Edward is gone again. I jerk abruptly to my feet and watch in disbelief as Edward picks Jacob up off the floor, as though he is nothing more than a hollow rag doll, and he throws him viciously and bodily through my living room window. The sound of glass shattering is the loudest sound I've ever heard. That's what? A gun just went off. It echoes in my head long past the point where the last shard falls to the floor. Edward moves to the window, every movement of his body eerily perfect and fluid. Now I feel like I sound like Forrest Gump. Let me know. I can see his hesitation and hear a low, unearthly growl of frustration, blending with that last falling shard, oddly musical in my fragmented thoughts. I can see he wants to follow, and I can almost feel the murderous rage coming off of him like electrical sparks. "Edward!" Bella's cry is soft, yet lost and full of pain, and once again my eyes deceive me. He's there by the window, and then he's not. I turn my head slowly like a disjointed marionette, already knowing long before my eyes acknowledge the truth that he will be there, all the way across the room, having crossed a distance of 20 feet in less than a blink of an eye. He's already lifting her, cradling her like a tiny child, murmuring her name in nonsense that blends together until it sounds like nothing more than a soothing hum. The room spins, and I step back slowly until I can brace myself against a wall. My knees buckle, and I sag down to the floor. Ooh, okay. So, Charlie just got beat up by a literal mythical creature, so I understand why his knees are buckling and he's falling down to the floor, but he's also seeing Edward be vampire-like. So, let's see what Edward's point of view is all about now. Jacob Black hits the ground outside, and I watch as Sam, Seth, Quill, and Leah slide from the darkness and surround him. Their thoughts are hesitant and evasive, and as one of their eyes turn to me, I expect accusation and anger. And there is that, but also concern. I have no knowledge that explains their presence. Jacob has remained in human form as far as I can tell, so his thoughts would not have been shared by the pack or been able to alert them to his whereabouts. Emmett, Alice, Esme, and Rose slip into the yard and surround them. Their stance is quiet and watchful, but their faces are angry. None of them appear to say a word, and they only appear more lethal in their silence. This sort of grouping of people is reminding me a lot of when in Breaking Dawn Part 2, Renesmee was born and everyone is like there and watching the kid and things like that. Or like I think it's like when Bella like gives birth. Maybe it's Part 1. I don't know. That's what it's reminding me of. Anyway, let us take care of our own, Cullen. Sam's thoughts are calm, though there is an undercurrent to them that speaks louder than anything he could ever say. He's blocking me, filling his mind with the present and giving nothing away of what he may know. He glares up at me, paying no attention to the other members of my family. Ignoring him, my rage no longer burning hot, but ice cold. Ice cold! Alright. I turn my attention to Emmett. My tone is low, nothing more than a hiss, but the command is unmistakable. He's mine. Emmett nods once, needing no further instruction. He moves forward, his eyes on Sam and his expression dangerous as he places himself closest to Jacob, him. His stance clearly showing he'll prevent any of the pack members from moving him, with force if necessary. None of my family knows yet what Jacob has done. The wolf pack's presence still blocks Alice's visions, but their thoughts are cohesive. They don't need details to understand that a line has been crossed, and all of them will shed blood in retaliation, without question. I wonder if vampires drink wolf blood. Jacob remains still, obviously unconscious, and though I ache to finish his life, Bella needs my attention. So does Charlie. The scent of his blood is strongly permeating the room and growing stronger by the second. Edward. Just my name, her voice barely raised above a whisper, and yet her pain is conveyed as easily as if she'd screamed. A fissure appears in my stone, silent heart, the rage inside cooling even more until it settles into the marrow of my bones. Jacob Black will pay for this with his life. I mean, after what he did, you go, girl. You go, Edward. Period. In my arms, she's impossibly rigid. Her skin is cold as though the heat of her life is slipping away, though, try as I might, I can find no mortal injury. She is covered in his scent, her clothes torn, her lip bloody, and a second fissure crosses over the first. The agony of what is just now becoming apparent is unbearable. Bella's hands clench in my shirt, her tiny body constricting in pain, and she moans. Convulsive tremors rack her. I'm sorry, Edward. She gasps softly, her teeth beginning to chatter. Although I can hear Carlyle's thoughts and sense his presence only seconds away from the house, I growl his name loudly. Carlyle, now! I need you now! Yes, son, I am here. His thoughts blend with the sound of the jeep that tears into the drive and the wail of a distant ambulance. If the scent of Charlie's blood is any indication, and of course it is, the ambulance is not close enough. Hush, love, I whisper softly, though she's said nothing since her apology. Her breathing is shallow, and she trembles against me so hard that I fear she will shatter in my arms. I continue to whisper nonsense words of comfort as I attempt to place her gently down on the sofa. The cushions and decorative pillows are all displaced, and she recoils instantly from its surface, the reaction making her cry out loudly in pain. I draw her back immediately, sick with my own stupidity at placing her down in the place that has obviously been the scene of some kind of violence against her. Some kind of violence. Her heart escalates in fear, even as I move her away with soft-spoken apologies meant to calm. I take her instead to a chair that sits alone in the far corner near the window. It is covered in glass shards, but I pay no mind. I settle her, as easily as I can, in my lap, while Carlyle kneels before us. I shake my head at him and raise my eyes to Charlie. Bella's injuries need attention, but her life is not in danger. Carlyle's eyes drift over her once, his thoughts matching my own before he vanishes and reappears at Charlie's side. An ambulance is on its way, Edward. Several squad cars are as well. Jasper appears at my side, his face impassive except for the flicker of darkness that crosses his eyes when he looks at Bella. He stopped his breathing. Even still, his fists are clenched, and the tightness of his jaw bellies. What the hell is this word? Computer? Okay, I have a headphone, but it's connected to my microphone. It's not connected to the computer, so I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, okay? But Bailey means fail to give true notion or impression of something, disguise or contradict. The tightness of his jaw bellies the torture he feels from the heady scent of fresh spilled blood. I think the use of the word heady is very funny because it kind of like reminds me of like beer, right? Because it's like it's got like a head. I don't know. Is that like a term that you can use to describe beer? I have no idea. Anyway, also I thought Bella had a broken rib, and so like that's why she's in pain. Like, I'm a little confused why they keep saying, oh, she's not injured, she's not injured. Like, Charlie's very injured, he's gonna die. She has a broken rib, right? Or is it all in her head? Let's see. Okay, now Carlisle is talking to Edward through the brain, so he goes, we need to move him. Okay, that's too much like Jasper, hold on. We need to move him. Now, Edward, you do no one, including Bella Swan, any good by allowing the humans to find him here. Any of us here. Let us take him. Oh, wait, no, this is Sam talking to Edward. Whoa, whoa. Okay, this is Sam talking to Edward, so I guess he's saying, like, we need to move Jacob. Okay. Sam's thoughts are ripe with anger and frustration. Jasper tenses at the sounds of Emmett and Alice's low-throated warning growls. Leah hisses angrily and Rosalie responds in kind. The confrontation outside is escalating with the ever-increasing tension. Sam is suddenly there, glaring down at me. Jasper moves easily and quickly into a protective crouch in front of us. I kind of imagine him crouching over like a goblin, like all the way down on the ground, like claws out, like rah, 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 rah. Sam ignores him and snarls quietly at me in a voice laced with frustration. Is this what you want? Exposure? Don't allow your anger to destroy us all. His tone is pitched low and he looks nervously at Charlie, who despite all odds is still conscious. Let us take Jacob. Whatever has happened, the time for revenge is not now. Surely you see that. Jacob is under arrest. Take him anywhere and I will arrest you all. Despite his weakness and the stuttering of his breath, Charlie's threat is hard with authority. Not only is he conscious, but he's also aware. Dangerously so. His eyes narrow at Sam. Carlisle demands Charlie's attention, forcing him to look away from Sam. Charlie, look at me. This is not a matter for the law. We have to protect Bella now, do you understand? Charlie winces, his expression wretched with torment. He hurt her, Carlisle. My fault. I can't let him get away with it. Growing desperate as the sounds of sirens draw closer, Sam forcefully interrupts, his eyes still on mine. If you allow this, there is no telling what the repercussions will be. Jacob is in no state to be rational, and I cannot control him once he is taken from me. I can't even give him the alpha Sam trails off, his eyes darting to Charlie. I can't stop him, he amends. Do you understand that? Charlie's heartbeat has become erratic, and I listen with growing fear as his breathing turns shallow. Oh no. His arguments have cost him the precious little energy he has left. Oh no. Carlyle stands, having done what he can for Charlie, and turns to me. He's right, Edward. The risk of exposure is too great. We must act now. He moves to Jasper and lays his hand against his arm. Go tell Alice and Esme and Rosalie to follow the pack to the reservation border and to stay there and keep watch. Jacob Black goes in, he does not come out. No. My voice is ragged with frustration, but I know that Carlyle is right. But I don't want Jacob here. Rational or not, I don't want him out of my sight. Oh wait, he says I want Jacob here. Rational or not, I don't want him out of my sight. And I want to tear him limb from limb before I kill him. Ooh, oh my goodness. The time to deal with this is not now, Edward. Bella and Charlie must come first. His tone drops and fills with his anger as he extends his hand and rests it lightly on Bella's head. We will make sure he doesn't escape justice. Sam bristles, and Carlyle instantly turns on him with a deep, vicious growl. He has armed one of my own. Take him now, but this is not over. Gather your elders. Pack leader. I imagine that's exactly how he said it. Nodding once, Sam turns and he and Jasper leave. Kneeling, Carlyle gently tips Bella's chin up and scrutinizes her face. There is little time, Edward. We must make decisions here quickly. She's in shock, I reply quietly. Yes. Emmett has come into the room and he moves to my side. What do you want me to do, Edward? Standing with as much care as possible so as not to jar Bella, I speak softly. I need blankets, Emmett. Top shelf in the upstairs hallway. He leaves instantly, and I turn to Jasper, who's already imparted Carlyle's instructions. The room is inundated with small waves of calming energy, and my head clears further. Take her, Jasper. Get her in the jeep, wrap her in blankets, and turn on the heat. She's in shock. It's vital you keep her warm. His eyes widen, and his thoughts revolt, but I shake my head at him. Do it, Jasper. You will not hurt her. I trust you. I need you to do this. We are running out of time. Nodding, he opens his arms, and I place her gently into them. She doesn't make a sound, nor does she react in any way, and my fear for her escalates. She needs medical attention. Be careful, Jasper, I whisper. I cannot keep my pain and fear from him. Keep her calm. Jasper disappears, Emmett following closely behind with his arms full of blankets and even pillows. He's heard my instructions to Jasper, and his thoughts are on making Bella as comfortable as possible. Carlyle is once again kneeling beside Charlie, his hand pressed to his side as he tries to further staunch the bleeding that is soaking through the compress he'd improvised from dish towels. Man, that's dirty as hell. At least use, a face towel. I don't know. Despite his injury, Charlie's eyes burn into mine, clear and coherent. His thoughts are in turmoil, and I flinch internally as they latch onto what he had seen here tonight. My fault, he says quietly, his gaze burning with intensity. Not guilt-ridden pain, but a clear and direct confession. There isn't time for a debate. Wait, what the hell? His thoughts are in turmoil. My fault? Why does he say my fault? I'm a little confused. But I'm just gonna keep going, I guess. Okay, yeah, I don't know. He says my fault. I don't really understand why. Yes, I will not coddle him. His thoughts show me how his decisions and choices have brought us here. Oh, that's why he said my fault. Okay, well, I should have just kept reading. The shards of my fury slice new tears in my heart, and I hold nothing back in my words. And if you were not her father, your life would be forfeit. He does not flinch from my threat. His mistakes do not change the man inside or the core of steel that is still intact. What are you? I am the man who will care for Bella, for eternity, long after you are gone. I will do everything in my power to heal her, to save her from your costly mistake. Will you allow it? He hesitates, but only for the briefest of seconds. Yes. Then listen to me. You came home and confronted an intruder, a thief who'd broken in while you were out. Instantly, I can hear Carlisle and Jasper, who has left Bella with Emmett, moving around the room and setting the stage. There was a struggle, and the gun went off. The intruder escaped. I can hear Emmett moving the Jeep and see Rosalie through her mind as she thoroughly erases all the tire tracks and signs that it had ever been there. What? What do you mean Rosalie is erasing the tire tracks? Does she have a magic eraser with her? What the hell? What? Now I gotta look it up. How can you get rid of tire tracks? Heat, cleaning agents, and agitation. High temperature pressure washer. Do you think she brought a pressure washer to do this excursion? I'm a little confused, but okay, sure. Yeah, Rosalie is erasing the tire tracks. Okay, maybe now that I think about it, maybe he means like on like dirt or grass, things like that. Like that makes more sense. I was thinking that it was like on the concrete. And all I know is that that's going to stay there for a little while. Anyway, his breathing is labored, but he nods. Jake. Allowing my expression to back up my words, I speak quietly, putting the full force of my immortal being behind it. The mask of humanity disappears for the first time in the presence of Bella's father. Jacob Black is mine. He will pay for what he's done. I promise you that. The ambulance and squad cars arrive, the lights flooding through the broken window, covering the room in pulsing color of red and blue and highlighting the fear and confusion on Charlie's face as he stares at me. Tell me you understand? I squeeze my hand hard against his shoulder, using the pain of my grip to keep him from slipping into unconsciousness. He nods again, and I release him. Charlie. His eyes were beginning to close, but they opened quickly in response to my call. He tilts his head up to focus on me once again. You will fight, I tell him. You will live to earn her forgiveness, and mine. You will not add your death to her pain. Damn, that's kind of crazy of him to say, but okay. His eyes do close now, though he nods as though he's agreeing to my demand. His already difficult-to-read mind is too hazy with pain and confusion to discern any trace of his current thoughts, so I can only hope I've reached some deeper inner strength inside of him with my demand. Conflicting emotions tear at me, and I clasp his hand tightly. This man would be my father-in-law, a man who fathered the woman I cannot exist without, who only wanted to protect her from me. My own malfeasance. Okay, wrongdoing. Malfeasance. My own malfeasance is as much to blame as his. I will take care of her for you, Charlie. I promise. Always. Rising quickly, with no attempt to hide the unnatural movements I would normally take such pains to hide, I leave before the humans catch me there, trusting that Carlisle and Jasper will take care of this. Bella is my only priority now. And that is the end of chapter 8. What was it even called? It was a long-ass chapter. Collision, which I guess, like, it's called Collision because Edward and Jacob collided. Or, like, because the werewolves and the vampires collided. Or because like the human world collided with the mystical world. So there's a couple of reasons here. I see it. I see the vision. So this chapter was definitely interesting. I am so glad that it was not like the previous chapter. I'm like a little traumatized from it. And I like that it was just sort of like talked about as in something awful has happened here. We need to get rid of Jacob. I'm honestly really excited to see what happens between Jacob and Edward. And I'm also excited to see if Charlie ends up keeping the lie up of like there was a burglar and things like that. So let me know what you liked in the comments. Share this video with your third favorite person. Just as a reminder, I'm Bia, and this has been Twilight Tonight Fan Fiction Edition. Bow chicka wow 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 wow. Wow wow. Peace. Oh wait, is that crime?